The first time I was on stage was in the 4th grade. I was 10 years old. My elementary school had put on a talent show, and for some reason, I think it was because I was obsessed with Jim Carrey and Steve Martin, I decided to put on a stand-up comedy routine. My dad was my writer, so he wrote the routine. We wrote it together, but he wrote it. It was very Seinfeld-esque. It was like, ever realize why we park on driveways and drive on parkways? That kind of stuff. We rehearsed this for weeks leading up to the event, and I remember the night of, the cafeteria was full of just hundreds and hundreds of people. Bunch of singing, bunch of dancing, and then this guy. I remember there were these steps that led up to the stage in the cafeteria. I was sitting there waiting to go on, and I got my real first case of the Trembles, that little full body convulsion thing. I started feeling that and having a minor freak out because I had no idea what was happening to me. My buddy's dad was the MC, and I remember when he called my name, the trembling stopped. I stepped on stage. I gave him a tight 4 to just thunderous laughter and applause. No, it was fun. It was a lot of sympathy laughs, but it was a good time. And I knew even then that I was a different person on the other side of that performance because I was no longer someone who had never done stand-up on stage. I had performed live. I had an idea and I saw it through. I'd received that badge. And while yes, it felt amazing in the moment, I never could have predicted just how important that lesson was going to be until much later on. There's this book I love by Elizabeth Gilbert called Big Magic: Creative Living Beyond Fear. She reminds us that your creativity doesn't have to save the world. It just has to matter to you. I remember during rehearsal of that stand-up routine, feeling that burnout for the first time because we were doing the same routine over and over again. It was not funny to me anymore, so that translated into this thought in my head that it wasn't going to be funny to anyone else, which is dumb, but it's impossible not to feel that way. And I think that Tremble is that voice in my head that has a few more seconds to repeat the sentiment before it's either going to be proven right or wrong. I've been on stage a few times since then, and I've gotten the Trembles more than a few times. Now it kind of gives me a little bit of confidence because I think back to that 4th grade kid and I think to myself, if he can do it, I can do it. I'm the same guy. I'm just older than he is. I've come to realize that the Tremble just indicates the crossing of a big threshold. And I really think that's the only way we grow. The more comfortable we can get with the unknown outcome, the easier it is for our creative spirit to shine. I would only be so lucky to spend the rest of my life chasing the Tremble, crossing the thresholds, and repeating it over and over again. And even if all that happens is I learn a bunch of stuff during the process, to me, that's enough. And like Elizabeth says, I don't need to change the world. I just need to make stuff that matters to me.